Hello children. Today I am here with lesson 12 of your English course book, that is tourism, Boon or Bane. All of you like to go to visit different destinations during the holidays, and tourists, that means the people from other country, also come to visit our country at different places. So here we are going to know about that when people come and visit to different places, they make different plans for visiting and they prepare to visit a tourist spot. They usually wish to know more about the place. But during all these things, what happens to the lifestyle of the common people, how the places or the cities are affected by their visit? Is the tourism industry or the tourism or the tourists are a boon that is good for the local people or the cities and towns, or they are harmful for them? This we are going to read in this lesson. So firstly, look at it. I'm going to read first paragraph of you for you, then I'll explain it. When people make holiday plans and prepare to visit a tourist spot, they usually wish to know more about the place they are visiting, the people living there, their lifestyle, their history and culture, and even the natural wealth of the places they visit. When we make a plan to visit any place, then first we keep in mind what we want to visit there, what we want to know about them. So what are the things that we want to know about it, that particular place are? That is the historical importance of that place, then the lifestyle of the people who live there, then the history of that place and culture, and even the natural wealth, that is the vegetation, greenery, and all the other things related to that place we want to know. We want to visit to know about all these things. Tourists usually visit places of historical interest such as monuments, palaces, forts, and so on. They also visit places of religious interest such as pilgrimage spots. Many tourists also go on safaris to wildlife reserves, which are a part of the natural wealth of a region. So, what are the things which the people want to visit? Firstly, they want to know about the monuments which are popular there, which are famous there, and about the monuments like the palaces, forts, and other places which are of historical importance. Secondly, they like to visit the religious interest places such as the pilgrimage spots, that is the temples and the places related to religious point, famous because of religious point. Then many people, tourists, also go on safaris. Many people like to visit on safaris to wildlife reserves. Wildlife, that is the zoos and the wildlife reserves, which where the animals and the greenery is there. The people like to visit that places, or also which are the natural wealth of for that particular place. At most holiday destinations, the natives look forward to having tourists. Tourists buy food and stay at hotels. They are entertained with dances and songs. They spend money on handicraft and other such articles. This gives jobs to the local people who provide the tourists for their needs. Thus, tourism is a big business as it brings in money for many people. At most holiday destinations, that is the tourism spots, the natives, that is the local people of that area, they wait for the tourists, because when the tourists come there, they stay in the hotels, they purchase food from that place. So the people who sell their food articles, they are also benefited by them. Hotel industries also get benefit by the tourist, and even these tourists are interested in purchasing the handicraft of that particular place, which are related to the particular culture, particular place. So they also get benefit. That's why the local people, they wait for these tourists, because their work, their jobs are related to this tourism. When the tourists come in large number, then they get much money, they will get a good business. So they are happy when the tourists visit them, and they like them tourists to come and visit to their places. But tourism is not always an advantageous as we think it is. But tourism is not always beneficial. Sometimes it harms also. And what are the harms which the tourists or the people who visit there create to the monuments and the local reserves, low natural wealth that we are going to read now. Don't we often find that a few tourists cause damage to monuments by inscribing their names upon them? They also spit and throw things around and litter the places they visit. Many times we have seen that the tourists, they inscribe, that is, scribble their names, write their names on the monuments, and also they litter the places with the wrappers and all the other things, wrappers of eatables, chocolates, and all that, chips. They throw all around them. Then the peels of banana and other eatable items which they eat, then throw the litter the places around the monuments. We have also seen the number of people, more the traffic and more the confusion. We have also seen that more the number of people, we also see that when more number of people come to visit that places, then the traffic increases. And as the traffic increases, so more confusion is created in that. Thus too many tourists, good or bad, can turn a quiet beautiful land into a crowded, noisy, and dirty place. So when too many tourists come and visit any place, so at that time what happens? A confusion creates all around them, a chaos creates all around them. And so because of a quiet, beautiful land, that is where the monuments are there, a quiet peace is there, silence is there, a peace is there, a beauty is there, that all get disturbed and the place becomes crowded, noisy, too many noises are there, and it becomes dirty also as they litter the places. Safaris are great tourist magnets. Many tourists enjoy traveling in vans accompanied by experienced guards. Safaris are liked by the tourists. They like to visit the safaris in natural area, that is now wildlife reserves. They want to go and visit there. Many tourists like to do it. So what do they like? To travel in van, in which they are having one tourist guard along with them, who guide them, and the guard also goes with them. Trackers and forest officers deep into wildlife rivers. And with whom they go? They go with guards, trackers, and forest officers. They go into deep wildlife reserves. Deep into the wildlife reserves, they like to visit there. You can see in the picture that a family is sitting, and the guard is showing them all the place inside the wildlife reserve. The best time to go on safaris is the hot and dry season, but this is the time when water is scarce. This is the season when plant life finds it difficult to stay alive with less water. And these very plants are often trampled under the wheels of big vehicles, which uh, which take tourists around. So what happens? The best time to go on safaris, best time to go on the safaris, that is on the vans and in the wildlife reserves, is summer season, hot and dry season. But at this time, as there is scarcity of water, less water is there, so the plant life is also dull, it decreases at that time. So when these vehicles move from there, so what happens? These plants, which are not too green, which are not too life full at that time, so when these vehicles move upon them, the big wheels of these vehicles, they crash, they mass the plants which are there. So it happens that this tourist decreases the vegetation, they spoils the vegetation in that wildlife reserves. With plant life damage, the grass eating animals find it difficult to live. Thus, these animals in big number migrate in search of food and water. If herbivores are on the move, will predators that feed on these animals be far behind? So, what happens? That when these plants are messed by the vehicles of these, by the wheels of these vehicles, big vehicles, they are messed, they are spoiled. So when they are spoiled, this grass, this plant life gets spoiled. So because of it, the herbivorous animals which depend on this plant life, which on grass, as they are grass eating animals, so they do not get their food, and in search of food they have to leave those places and go away from there. If they leave the places and go away, then what will happen to carnivorous animals? They depend on herbivorous animals for their food. And if herbivorous animals are not there, we know that chain is there in nature. So if herbivorous animals are not there, then carnivorous animals also have to move from there. Sometimes, when tourists offer food to animals, although they are warned not to do so, the animals might be tempted to eat it. This may not be good for them. Some animals might end up eating their plastic wrappers as well. Can you imagine what harm can this cause? Sometimes these tourists they give the eatables or the eating things to the animals, though they are instructed not to give anything to the animals, but still they give it. And when they give such food to the animals, sometimes they give wrappers also along with them. And these plastic wrappers get stuck in the animals' intestine and make them affected. So this tourism sometimes affect the wildlife, plant life and animal life both. One might argue, how can safaris be harmful, especially since it makes possible to put a stop to hunting of animals. In most countries, animal hunting is illegal, and alert forest officers safeguard the animals. Tourists now shoot and capture wildlife with their cameras and not guns. So somebody may say that how these safaris are harmful. They are not killing the animals because hunting and poaching is illegal, and the alerts forest officers do not allow them to do this. They can only shoot the animals by their cameras. That means they can take the pictures of those animals. They cannot use the guns in that area. So how they are harmful to the animals? But these safaris are not always good for the forest or its wildlife. The constant roar of vehicles, the clicking of cameras, and the unpleasant buzz caused by excited tourists eager to see animals in their natural habitat disrupt the peace of the forest. But only shooting by guns is not harmful. Their voice which they are making, noise which is made by the vehicles, and the shouting, the clicking of cameras, these are also harmful. Unpleasant buzz that is caused by the excited animal tourist when they see the animals. So that is also harmful for the people. So in that way also they are disturbing the wild habitat of on the peace of the habitat on the forest. So in that way also tourism is harmful for wildlife. This even upset animals who are likely to lash out at tourists out of anger or fear. The result of such happening can be horrifying. Won't such incidents affect tourists and tourism itself? This event upset animals. And because of these, that is continuous clicking of cameras, continuous sound of vehicles, continuous buzzing sound of tourists, this disturbs the animals. They get irritated, they get annoyed because of it. And when they get annoyed, then sometimes they attack the tourist. And if they do it, then this incident will be harmful for tourist and tourism itself, People will not like to visit those places. Many a time, people who live near or inside forest are forced to leave the areas and move elsewhere so that the government can turn these forests into wildlife reserves and sanctuaries. These people for whom the forest is their home are then left helpless and homeless. So, in each in this so, in which way is tourism helpful to them if they are losing their own homes? Sometimes, what happens? As the government has to turn the forest areas into the wildlife sanctuaries just for the tourists so that they can visit those places and the government can earn the money from those places. So while they are doing this, what happens? They force the people who live there, inhabitants of that area, they force that people to leave their homes and to move elsewhere. Some people who live in forest, they are forced to leave that forest so that they can turn those place into wildlife sanctuary. Government can turn those place into wildlife sanctuary. So it forces those people to leave the place and go elsewhere and live somewhere else. In this way, the people whose home is made empty just because of tourism, is the tourism helpful for them? Is the tourism boon for them? No, it is a bane for them. Because because of this tourism, they have become homeless and helpless. They are left helpless and homeless. They have to leave their homes and go somewhere else to live anywhere. Due to these problems, should we stop promoting tourism, or should we find better solution? Should we not ensure that tourists as well as natives follow the rules and regulations laid down by the government and everyone benefits it out of it? So, it is said that due to these problems we cannot stop. No, though we know that these tourism or the tourists are harmful also, but the benefits are also for the local people, for the towns and cities, people living in those towns and cities. So we cannot stop tourism. We should not stop promoting tourism. We have to find something better solution. We have to ensure that tourists as well as natives follow the rules and regulations. That some rules and regulations should be made for the tourists and the natives also, so that they can work togetherly, they can get benefit togetherly, but they should not create harm to anybody. Yet we should, yes, we should. Most importantly, we should take pride in our culture and preserve it, as well as take care of the tourist spots of other countries. So, what we can do? We should take care of our culture. We should not get affected by the tourists of the other countries. We should not leave our culture. We should take care of our culture. We should be proud of our culture and preserve it, as well as we should take care of the culture and the tourist spots of other countries also. After all, if we want to care, if want care to be taken to of our country by tourists who come to visit our land, shouldn't we do the same when we travel to theirs? Because the attitude of the tourist which we want for our tourist spots for us should be shown by us in other countries also when we go to visit those countries, because the society is based on give and take formula. What we give to others, we will get that same thing for us. So if we want that tourists should take care of our tourist spots, our monuments, our wildlife reserves, then we should take care of all these things in when we visit in other countries. So now we got that tourism should not be avoided, but tourists should be made, tourists and the local people should be made to work under some rules and regulations which will be helpful for them. Okay, thank you. Bye for this till next video.